What was all that about? Hey guys, it's Marlene. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you the basics of hybrid video or hybrid photography. Not sure what to call it. Is it a video? Is it a slideshow? What is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter what to call it. I will show you how to do it. And we're going to start simple. What you saw before was some clips taken with my G100 and a very old and broken 12 to 35 millimeter lens. I shot 1080p, I shot JPEGs, and everything you're seeing is straight out of the camera, except a couple of crops. Definitely no image editing, no video editing. Straight out of the camera, put together with a music track, and all it is a photo walk. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. And really, this is easy, accessible. You can do it with any camera, and anybody can do it. You don't even need to know how to edit video to do this, and that's the fun part. Okay, let's start with the basics. Now, hybrid video, hybrid photos, hybrid slideshows, whatever you want to call them, basically is photos, videos, and audio. Now, your audio can be a piece of music, which I had in my little piece, or you could have a voiceover, which you do after the fact. But the whole idea with hybrid, photos, videos, audio, photos and videos match, get it right in the camera, minimal, if any, editing, minimal, if any, video editing as well. And the reason I'm teaching you this now is because your cameras have a lot of video power in them. And if you use a Lumix camera, well, those are kind of biased towards video. Now, having said that, I've used Lumix cameras for photography since 2013. No, since 2012. Since 2012. So I've used them for both photos and videos, but I mostly take photos. I call myself a photographer. I've never claimed to be a videographer. I've never claimed to be a cinematographer, although, you know, I have sort of dreams to that effect some days. But it doesn't matter what camera you have. You can do this with any camera that takes photos and videos and that you can match together. Now, of course, you don't have to match your photos and videos, but to make your final project look cohesive, I think it looks better to have things looking kind of the same. You want the same white balance and you want the same photo style throughout. Another cool thing is that you can shoot slow motion video, you can shoot fast motion video, you can do time lapses in the mix, all sorts of things. It's a really creative way of getting into video without having the complication of video hanging over your head. And I challenge you this year to start with hybrid. That's all I'm going to say about that. Start with hybrid. You're going to see how much fun you can have and how it will get you back into your camera gear, get you back into shooting, being intentional, and things like that. Now, there's a few techniques that I use, and especially with the video clips, okay? So I've already talked about matching the photo styles. Another thing you can do is you can have camera movement. So you move your camera any which way you want. Or you can have subject movement. So perhaps a subject is walking through your frame, or maybe you noticed the leaf blowing in the wind in the clip that I showed you. Those are the two basic ways to get movement. So subject movement or camera movement. With photos, I suggest you concentrate on the framing so that when you're putting together your photos and videos, that you can make them match. Now, I probably should have shot my photos in 16:9. It's whatever you want. Maybe you have an open gate camera and you can shoot the full sensor for photos and videos. That's great too. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The whole idea is to capture great photography and interesting video clips. How do you figure out what shutter speed to use for video? Well, typically the shutter speed for video is 2 times the frame rate. So if your frame rate is 24 frames per second or 24p, then you can shoot at a 50th of a second. Now, you're not going to break your camera if you shoot at a faster shutter speed than 2 times the frame rate. You can shoot whatever shutter speed you need to get good exposure. The key here is to get it right in the camera, so you want to get good exposure. So if it's a really bright sunny day and you're forced to use a faster shutter speed, your ISO won't go any lower and your f-stops won't go any smaller, then you might be stuck shooting a faster shutter speed. But don't worry about it. It's not going to break your camera. What will happen though is that you will possibly see some jerky movements in motion, whether you're moving your camera or whether your subject is moving through the frame. Because it's better to have a little blur between frames so that it looks smoother on playback. For example, if you're shooting at 1/50th of a second taking photos, you know that if someone's walking through your frame that there will likely be a little bit of blur on their legs and arms. If you're shooting at 1/500th of a second, chances are you will be able to freeze the motion of that person walking through the frame. Whereas if you have a slower shutter speed, you have a picture and a little blur in between, and the pictures are blurry, so they kind of smooth out the playback in between those frames. Fast shutter speed, basically your person might be in a different position, so they're in this position, this position, this position, and then because they're in focus and everything's frozen in time, you're going to get a little bit of jerky motion, jerky looking motion in playback. So that's why you would use a slower shutter speed. But sometimes you can't help it. You have to use a fast shutter speed, but it won't break your camera. What you can do is choose to use a neutral density filter, so that will block some light so that it allows you to shoot at a slower shutter speed that is closer to your frame rate so that you don't get that jerky motion when you're playing back your video. Now, if you're a videographer, you already know this, and videographers use a term called shutter angle, and they typically use 180-degree shutter angle. Just ignore that if you've never heard that before. It took me many years to figure out shutter angle. You're a photographer. Just worry about shutter speed. So to block light, to get a slower shutter speed, you may want to get a neutral density filter, and this is a variable neutral density filter. So as you rotate it, it will darken or lighten the image. One other thing, this is not intended for vlogs or talking head videos. I want you to just think of creating short stories that involve photos and short video clips. I don't want you to think, oh, I'm going to be vlogging. I want to point the camera at myself and do my spiel and teach my lesson and give it out onto YouTube or whatever. This is purely creative. It's a step above just going for a photo walk. You're going for a photo and video walk. You're going for a hybrid photo walk. Now, if you're a photographer and you're brand new to video, what I suggest you do is just push that red video button. Can't go wrong with that. But I also suggest that you take very short clips, 30 seconds or less. You do not want a long clip. People will lose attention. You want to tell part of your story with motion and part of it with photos. As I mentioned, you can shoot with camera movement or subject movement. And you can do that with photos too. If your camera allows you to do slow motion, in this case it's got an S and Q menu here on this Lumix, try slow motion. It will add emotion. And again, don't forget, shorter clips are better. You want to show the peak moment of the action. You can also shoot fast motion. You can shoot time-lapse, you can shoot hyperlapse, but again, you want to make sure that your viewer will stay engaged. You want to establish your location, and you want to shoot all types of distances. So you want some close-ups, you want some medium shots, and then you want some wide shots especially for establishing your location. So don't forget that you need the variety. Just like if you're telling a photos only story, you always want to have some detail shots because you know what, guys? Life is in the details. So there's a few other settings to set up on your camera if you're new to video. Choose the MP4 file format. It's the simplest to work with. It's compressed. That's okay. You're just learning. And you can choose the video size. So you could choose 1080p, which is what I did for this video. You can choose 4K. You can use OpenGate or whatever you want. But I suggest in the beginning, just start small and simple. 1080p is perfectly fine. When you export your photos, if you do any editing on your photos, you can export them on a smaller size as well. Like what if you have a 40 megapixel camera? You don't want to export 40 megapixel files into your video editing software, especially if it's one of those automatic video editing softwares. So you might have to lower the resolution of your photos as well. And who's to say you have to shoot them at the largest file size? You could shoot them at a smaller file size. Okay, and don't forget to set up your white balance and your photo style. And you know what? Before you get into a real big, long thing, test out the different photo styles, test out the video frame rates, like test out 24p, 60p, and test out shutter speeds with somebody walking through your frame or your camera movement and see what you like the most. And again, your first accessory should be a neutral density filter. Okay, here are some ideas for your first hybrid, which I want you to shoot. Promise me you'll do this. A travel video, a nature walk, a photo walk, graduation photo shoot, it's that time of year, family portrait. Imagine doing a family portrait where you show the setup of the family and you position people and you show the family having fun together and then you show some of the final images. I mean, that would be fun. New baby arrival, save the date, family party or event, company party or event, a how-to for a crafting project. Imagine assembling some parts of a craft and then taking photos of what you need, the ingredients of your craft, and the final project. How about a how-to for cooking or baking something? So you have your short clips of maybe mixing or a special kind of tool or ingredient that you need in your recipe, and then you take a photo of the finished product. You take maybe yourself eating some of the finished product. I mean, these are short and fun things to make. I don't want you stressing about too much. I just want you to think about how you can combine still photos and a little bit of motion video. And lastly, you could do a highlight of an artist's work. You could show the artist at work, maybe painting or drawing, and then show the artist's work, like take some proper photos of the artist's work and photos of the artist at work, blending in some videos. Hopefully those ideas get you motivated, and if you have any other clever ideas, if you want to share them, you can put them in the comments below. I'm sure it will help other people who are looking for interesting ways to use their cameras. So that's the end of the first part of creating your first hybrid video. And now I want you to go out there, shoot some photos and videos, do some testing, try to find a little story. Not necessary though. I just want you to get used to camera settings, matching photos and videos, and getting it right in the camera. In the next video, I'm going to show you some possible ways that you can assemble your video into a nice cohesive presentation. And I'm going to show you various ways to do that. Some are very simple and some might be a little more complicated. If you already know how to edit video, that's fine. You can edit in your video editing software. But if you're totally new to video editing, you need to watch the next phase as well.